I'll talk about that on Friday. So, real quick, I'm going to push. Hey, my turn. Shush. Please. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to push out a link real quick so that you guys have what I'm talking about as I walk through some of your options for what you could be using your time for today. Okay? So, while that thread link comes out, it should open it in a new tab. If you've not logged into Canvas, that's the first step. This is exactly the same thing, but this one's got links. Hey, my turn. Thank you. So, number one priority today is to complete the reflection part of your service learnings. Okay? It feels like we just did these. This is the next step in, or actually one of the last steps in completing your 50-hour service IA requirement for this class. The way that you do that is from your Manage Back dashboard, click on the SL tab, and then service learning that you've already filled out. I'll use an example. Lucy, you've been my example because your name's first in the alphabet, so we'll do that again as well. Then you click on Reflections and Evidence. You answer some questions that are on the link that I just sent you. And then once you have Reflections and Evidence, and I approve the SL, we're going to talk about the next thing. So, you did. You're going to be my other example. So, if we look at, if I am Lucy, and I'm looking at my service learning dashboard, and I go to my service learnings, where I am a Skyline High School Link Crew leader, there's a tab right here. You guys don't have access to this one, but you do have Reflections and Evidence. Right now, this is blank. So what I'm having you guys do today, if I'm Lucy, this is what I'm completing. Adding some kind of reflection or some kind of evidence by answering these questions right here. If you restate them and then give the example that you're talking about with a little bit of evidence, it makes a nice, solid reflection that goes into your Manage Back. Okay? Once you've completed these questions that I have linked right here, the one that I have sent out, hopefully it landed in your inbox, or your computers, I guess. You click Add Entry, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to actually do Lucy's because I'm not Lucy. Once that's complete, though, once you have at least one reflection or evidence, evidence can take a lot of forms, but if it's just like a photograph, you might want to do a reflection that explains what the photograph is so that when IB opens this up later, they can be like, what's going on here? All right, so once I am Lucy and I complete my reflection and evidence, this box right here that says Request Supervisor Review will become clickable. Okay? As it stands right now, this is not clickable because we have yet to add reflections and evidence. This is the first thing I'm going to have you guys do today. Answering these questions. They have been provided to you. Okay? The SL reflection questions. Let's find somebody who has completed a thing but is waiting for a reflection. Okay, so if we look at Ainsley's roller derby, Ainsley has completed a reflection. So you can see here, there's some imagery. Okay, and with a little bit of description, highlighting some of the things that this service learning taught them. This button, if you go back to the summary, is now available to request a supervisor review. The supervisor review is the last step in making your IA hours count for the service portion of the IA for PPS. Okay? Use every acronym challenge. Level impossible. All right? Once you've requested your supervisor review, your service learning has to be approved first, by the way. Once you've requested your supervisor review and the supervisor completes the review, like they've done with Cole, your service learning becomes completed. And you can no longer make changes, and it now counts towards your service learning 50-hour total. What it looks like, if you go into the example, if I'm Cole and I'm looking at my summary here, my director was Marnie, how do you say that? Kurtz. You should be able to at least see the supervisor review. I don't know if you can actually, but I can. You cannot? Okay, never mind. You cannot see the supervisor review, so I'm not going to spoil what your supervisor said. You can see it. Okay. No worries, no worries. It will say reviewed once your supervisor review is complete, and it will say completed once every box is checked. So these hours currently count towards Cole's service IA. Lucy's hours do not yet count because the supervisor has not yet filled out the not yet filled out the review. If we look at Aubrey's are all set to approved, but none of them have been completed yet, even though Aubrey has not done a reflection and evidence yet. But if she had, then we'd be able to do the supervisor review, and that's the last step in getting your things counted for your IA for service. The next thing that you could be doing today is sending those supervisor reviews if you've already got evidence. Okay? I have to approve the learning, which means it needs the required things of a title, a number of hours, and a description, are the big three. You should also let your supervisors know that a ManageBack link is coming their way and that you need that kind of soon. Because sometimes these adults get busy and forget to do a little form that ends up in their inbox. Okay? So let them know. Be like, hey, this thing's coming your way. Can you do that, please? It'll get done a lot faster. This is the last required step, as I mentioned here. Another thing you could be doing today is completing another language reflection. I know we just did one, but we're going to have to be a little creative with some storytelling about how these reflections have come and gone. Because on some of the examples, there's 2 reflections. On some of the examples, there's 3 reflections. We've only done 1 officially. Okay? The same questions that are outlined for the SL reflections also have some language portfolio questions that will help you complete a reflection. All right? If you're doing the basic science conclusion writing of restate the question and then provide evidence, you will have a sizable paragraph that will fit into your language portfolio. And what I told 4th period is that there are 3 major things that we need to do, right? I've been saying that with 3 IAs. Number 1 of importance, the most important gold medal IA is the reflective project. Silver medal IA, spot number 2, is the service learning hours. Bronze medalist is the language portfolio. And what that means is it's more of a thing that stays internal amidst skyline grading between Mr. Ahrens, Mr. Phelan, and myself. It still goes to IB, but they're going to look way more closely at your reflective project and at your service learnings. Okay? So keep that in mind while you fill out your language portfolio, collecting everything into one spot. Mr. Phelan will be here on your final block period for both P4 and P5. So if you've got questions that I have yet to answer or questions that are not on this list, this is what 4th period and 5th period have put together, more or less, just based on what people are asking me and what I didn't know. If your question is not on here, you can wait for Mr. Phelan on Wednesday, or you can tell me now and I'll include it in an email. Up to you. Biggest thing is those SL reflections. Let your supervisors know a review is coming their way, and do a reflection, a second reflection, just like we definitely did earlier. That's a lie. For your service portfolio. Shivan.
So we just need to get like all parts of these done by the time we have our period 5.
Correct. This stage of the class is making sure all the stuff you've already done in a variety of different forms, like the RPPF forms, the reflective project, the language portfolio, your service stuff, it's now collecting it all into ManageBack so that IB has access to it. Ishan, sorry.
And like, do we have to like submit it to ManageBack like for IB as well by this finals day, or is it like?
My understanding is that by finals day, you should be 99.99% complete. Okay, if you need to make small adjustments, there is a window when IB officially closes. The window is after the semester ends, but don't bank on that. Because for a lot of factors, I could be wrong. IB could change. Mr. Ahrens and I, it's our first time teaching this class. It's also a lot of first times for Mr. Phelan figuring out how things work with the advisors. There's a lot of opportunities for somebody to miss something in there, which is why I'm emphasizing be as done as you can by the 29th. And done as you can just means uploading things we've already done, finishing things we've already started, and making sure everything's in the right spot. Okay? Any other questions? Any questions you want to add to my list here to send to Mr. Phelan? Cool.
So all we need to do today do our service learning?
If you've done your service learning and you've gotten it approved, do the language portfolio piece. Hey, stop.
And then you said we had to add the like a little paragraph there.
The reflection?
Yeah, like how long is the reflection?
You already did yours. You're good. That's the SL supervisor thing.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh, the language one. The language one, as long as you're answering these questions and also restating the question in the start of your answer. Huh?
You'll get 100.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you put that up on my screen? Can you put it?
It's in announcements. I pushed it out after class had started, so you will have to find it. Might be in your history. Okay, I thought I saw a hand over here. We all good? Okay, good luck. I'm going to upload this video in case you need a reminder of what this part of the process. Emphasis on process because it's IB and they hate things that are easy. So, cool. Good luck.